Staying hydrated whilst riding a mountain bike is absolutely vital. And given that we're now moving into the warmer months here at GMBN, I thought I'd share a whole bunch of our hydration pack hacks with you. Probably the most important thing with any hydration pack is to make sure the inside of the bladder is completely clean. Otherwise you risk bacteria growing in there, which can taste horrible and can give you a bit of a stomach bug too. Now luckily most hydration packs on the market tend to be made of plastics that resist bacteria growing. However, it is really important to make sure yours is kept clean. Here are some specific hacks for that. Okay, first up, the bite valve. So this is the bit that you actually put in your mouth constantly and you drink from. Now, I'm willing to bet that a lot of you out there don't even really clean the hose or the bite valve on your bladder. You might rinse out the main bladder and then dry it or whatever, but this stuff, this bit in particular, harbours bacteria in here. In fact, have a look at your one now, look on the inside, there's probably loads of black spots in there. That is bacteria and gunk growing in there. So the best way to get on the inside of here, there's a few tools you can use to do this. You can get inside with pipe cleaners, which is quite good, but what I found best is a baby bottle cleaner. Now it looks like any old kitchen brush, but the actual bristles on there are quite soft. Inside the handle though, is one of these little fellas. Now this is specifically designed to get into the teat on a baby bottle, in which case it can also get inside here and give that a proper clean out. So with the clean of your choice, which we'll get into after, it means you can completely clean the inside of that, which means once it's fully clean, it's not going to taste nasty and you're not going to have any bacteria in there. Job done. Now, whatever you use to clean your hydration pack, that also has an effect. Now, if you just use water, that can work okay, provided you only had water in there and it was fresh water to start with. So you've got to make sure that you can kill any bacteria in there. Now, washing up liquid does work quite well for this. However, it can be really hard to make sure you get all of the residue out, in which case it's always a little bit foamy. It tastes pretty minging as well, and it's probably not that good for you. Now, a lot of people, and myself included, have used in the past Milton baby bottle cleaner. Now that does kill all the bacteria and stuff, but it can taste pretty disgusting if you don't get it quite right. And it's a bit of a pain because you've got to mix up the mixture. Now what I've been tipped off about, and I have tried this now, is by using denture cleaning tablets. Now obviously for cleaning teeth like dentures with, they leave no aftertaste. Now these things are amazing because they kill the bacteria, kills the bacteria in there, job done, sorted. Now you can get specific hangers for your CamelBak and for any other hydration bladder that basically fill out the inside and enables you to hang it up upside down and it'll all drip out and it basically does the job properly. But if you don't want to spend that money, you can do the same sort of thing using a coat hanger. Now this type of coat hanger is a bit flimsy, so what you need to do is basically cut this part off, hook it on the inside, leave a bit of the hook, and it helps open it up on the inside. Now the rounder profile ones, these tend to be a little bit better, and this is how you do it. Firstly, you need to identify which size bladder you've got and correlate that basically to what you're going to use on the inside. So I have the large bladder, it's a 3 litre one, and I'm going to use a full size coat hanger. All you need to do is cut a section away from the coat hanger. Best way to do this is using a hacksaw. Once you've cut through with the hacksaw, make sure there's no burrs or any small bits of plastic that can come off, and give the coat hanger a good clean. Once you've cleaned your hydration bladder, all you need to do is hook that coat hanger inside, and it will hopefully hang in the right position, and it will allow it just to open up and get all of that water evaporated out from the inside of the bladder. Once you've cleaned your bladder and it's dry, the best thing to do to stop bacteria growing is to bung it in the fridge. Why do you think we keep things in the fridge? It's to keep them fresh and to stop bacteria growing on it. So you do exactly the same thing with your CamelBak bladder or your hydration bladder. Nice and simple, roll it up, bung it in the back of the fridge until you're ready to go riding. Fill and freeze. So this is a great little one that we actually learned from our friends who ride in the hotter countries, unlike us here at GMBN. So what you really want to do is fill it up the night before you go riding and bung it in the fridge, which means obviously it's going to stay cooler a lot longer. Now, if you live in an exceptionally hot and dry climate, you might want to bung this in the freezer, but if you do this, make sure you leave enough airspace in there to allow for the expansion of the ice so it doesn't split your bladder, and also make sure you disconnect the hose first, otherwise you're going to bung up that hose. This works really well in super hot climates because as you start riding, your body heat and of course the environmental heat will naturally start melting the ice, turning it into ice cold water as you consume it. Bingo. Now, adding additional insulation is a great way to make sure the water stays cool a lot longer. Of course, the nature of cycling, you're going to get quite hot and you're going to be exposed to warm temperatures. It's going to warm up as you drink it, but you can minimize that by insulating it further. Now, some hydration packs like Evoc have a back protector in, and Camelback also have them. This actually insulates the bladder between your body and the bladder itself, so that works quite well. But what you can do if you don't have this is wrap some tin foil around your bladder, or separate the bladder between your body with some tin foil. It works on the same principle as it does when you put it in your riding shoes for winter. It's just a nice, simple, no frills approach to help your water stay a little bit cooler and resist the heat coming off your back. Now, this next one is something I find even strange to tell people about, because I just think everyone should know this. It's stopping the water sloshing around on the inside. All you got to do is bleed the air out. It's dead simple. Fill your hydration bladder up at the tap, close the lid on it, make sure the threads line up so nothing leaks out, then flip it upside down so the air goes to the top where your hose is, and let the hose naturally bleed the air out, and then the water is not going to slosh around on the inside. It also means when you're drinking the water, you're not going to get air pockets in between gulps of water. Dead simple. Now, one of the reasons we carry hydration packs, in addition to obviously carrying water, is so you can carry tools and spare clothes and all sorts of other things in your bag. Now, you want to make sure you use the specified compartments on the inside, because if you do crash, A, you're going to be quite protected from those tools, which can be sharp at times, especially if you're using Allen keys or any knives or anything like that. But also there's a chance you could damage the bladder on the inside. Now, some hydration packs come with tool pockets on the inside, and some come with little wraps ready to wrap the tools in. If yours doesn't have one, you can make one of these really easily from something you probably have lying around already. The number one candidate for that is an old glasses case. These are brilliant to just undo and stuff with tools. It's a little hard case, so if you've got Allen keys or tools or anything like that, you can bung it all inside, zip it up, and that whole thing just goes straight in your bag. Nothing's going to get damaged. Nice and simple. Another great solution I've found, which I personally use, is an old first aid kit. Now, I do carry some first aid supplies when I go riding. I do tend to go quite minimal with it. I carry some spray plaster, which is antiseptic, just to make sure I can get the worst out of a wound if I'm on my own, for example. I'll carry skin tags and a sling and a few other things. But these little packs are actually fantastic because they're really well made and they've got pockets on the inside. They're almost purpose built to put tools in. Brilliant idea. Now, although not directly related to hydration in a hydration pack, most people like to document the way they ride a bike, and quite often you'll use a GoPro or some sort of POV camera, in which case it's quite likely that you'll use a chesty mount. Now, whilst these are quite good, they can be very uncomfortable when you team them up with a hydration pack. So have a look at this one. Now, this is made especially for GoPro actually, but of course it will work with different mounts, but it's designed by Camelback. Now, this is a really good idea because firstly, it's a sternum protector, so there's a real good safety aspect to this. Mounting a GoPro on your chest, you don't need to spell out. If you are unlucky enough to have a crash and land on your chest, that's chest trauma. That could be really, really bad for you. And by having the same sort of concept as their back protectors, you can have this on your chest. So A, it's a great thing to have if you do mount a GoPro here. B, it also means the GoPro is a lot more stabilized. So if you're haven't got one of the latest ones like the 7 that's got the hyper smooth on it, you can maximize on having it much more stable than using a regular chesty by having one of these big sternum protectors, because they really do make a great mounting for it. And finally, they work really well with hydration packs. I mean, this one works with the Camelback, obviously it's designed by them, but it also works really well with Evoc and a whole number of others out on the market. The chest strap or the sternum strap you have on your bag actually goes through part of this like chest plate, so it all works intrinsically together to hold everything in place. Nothing's going to move around, and you'll find when you actually pull down the straps on your bag, it holds it in place even better. So you're going to get better quality footage, you're going to be safer, and it works with your hydration pack. I really do suggest looking at one of these if you do like that chest mount, because ultimately it's a safety item. Part of mountain biking involves a lot of road trips, a lot of traveling, a lot of camping. Now, it involves carrying a lot of gear in order to do that. Your Camelback, if you put some air in it, in addition to using it for water, you can use it as a make-do travel pillow. It works really quite well. You don't have to get rid of the water in there. All you do simply is blow it up and then close the valve on the bike valve, and it means you've got a make-do pillow. It's not going to be the best one in the world, but it's certainly better than not having one. 30. Oh, sorry, I must have been counting sprockets again. Sorry about that. I was just about done there, but I've just been handed this by Henry, who says, you can also fill hydration packs with red wine for a festival. It's perfect because it only gets better when it gets warmer. Well, that is quite a good idea, but probably wouldn't put red wine in my own hydration pack because for fear of discolouring and maybe adding a bit of weird flavour to it, but that's definitely a good idea. I like the fact it gets warm as you drink it. And the other one, I'm not even going to look at that, to be honest. You would never put goldfish in a Camelback, would you? There we go, there's our pack hacks video. If you've got any additional ones that we've missed out, let us know in the comments below. I'd love to know what ideas you come up with because they're actually pretty handy for a lot of people. If you want to know a bit more about POV cameras, GoPros and stuff, click down here. There's a video with Blake about using that stuff and making your own video, and click down here if you want to see some trailside hacks with myself. As always, don't forget to give us a thumbs up here at GMBN Tech and keep those suggestions coming in and we'll keep making the videos. Cheers guys.